Hey, what's up everyone? In this video, I'm going to show you the upcoming styling for the Canvas starter site listing preview. So this has to do with, the listing preview cards or clicking into the quick views for the listings, whether you see them on an Explore page or strategically placed on throughout other areas of a website, like maybe the home page and so on. So we're going to look at that, and we're going to look at how I built these, literally, specifically looking at the professional listings when there's a focus on the headshot. So I'm often asked, it's quite often, I don't even know how often, but it's pretty often. It's like, have you seen any designs, or do you have any designs that we could use for our website where the headshot is a real focal point? And I'm happy to say that now I can say that I think there is one. So we're going to look at that and how I did it. Okay, so it's available right now from the club website. Right here from the resources page, it's this last one I've added to the site, Canvas listing previews. So let's go ahead and dive in. I wanted to also point out that as I'm building these listings for the listing types and everything that goes along with those for this upcoming Canvas starter site, I'm eating my own dog food. I'm using the exact worksheets that I am, telling everybody else to use that are building my listing website. So as you see here on my screen, these are all of the listing types I've currently built for the Canvas starter site. And this is a live look at what I've built for them. So I'm doing the same thing that I ask clients to do, or whoever else. I fill these in before I even start building. So whether it's, again, the taxonomies, the listing packages, the listing fields, or the listing types, everything that you're going to see in this video is I've put in here beforehand, before I even, started building. So I wanted to point that out. All right. So real quick, this is a MyListing demo. I want to show you something just to show you that that's not something, custom coded, something that I threw in and added to the MyListing site to, that this is built into MyListing. What I'm about to show you, how you can target individual preview cards based on the listing type. So again, this is built into the theme already. There's a selector, a CSS selector a class that you can use to style these individually. All right. So if I inspect this page, let me actually inspect the card. That would be better. And then if we scroll up here, we see here this line right here. Let me see if I can zoom this in for you. So you see right here where it says listing preview type place. That's the key. The type dash place. That is saying, as you see here, this is the places listing type. All right. Now, if I do the same thing, but for events, inspect it, and we go up here again, we see the type is now event. So that's whatever the listing type is, that is what is going to be shown there. And that is what you can target. All right. Okay. So I wanted to get that out of the way. This is the upcoming Canvas starter site. And this is what I'm calling the default listing preview right here. These cards right here. Okay. And it's going to be the same whether it's light or dark mode. This site's going to have light and dark mode for pretty much everything. But these cards are going to be the same styling regardless of what else is going on this page. So in the dark mode, this whole left-hand side is going to be dark. The map will stay as is, but even once this stuff starts going dark, this stuff will all still, if I find that if I want to change something to make it a little more darker on these cards, like maybe the footer and stuff, I will update the snippets. But as it is now, this is what you would get if you were to download the CSS package for the listing previews. This is how they would look. So they may change in dark mode. We'll see how that goes. All right, so that is that. What are some highlights here? Actually, let me pull up something. Let me pull up my notes. Sorry about that. I should have pulled this up beforehand. I just want to make sure that I don't miss anything. All right. Okay, so just some highlights here. This is unique styling here. So this is the promoted badge. And what's unique about this is I've placed a border around all of these items here. Okay, typically you don't see that. That's not an option. I just wanted to show people a different look. So, and then if it's a featured listing, you know, it's got a little bit of a different styling, but you can see that border traverses across all of those head buttons there in the listing preview. That is a unique design. This is what you would get, you know, otherwise. Okay. What else? You'll notice here, there's placeholder images in here. At the time when I launched this site, I may put some images in here. I haven't decided yet, but these are placeholder images. A logo could go there. And then of course your gallery images, but that's not really related to the listing previews, but I just wanted to point that out. What else? Took away the border here, or the background here on this category image, which in this case is, or term image, which in this case is actually a region. So a little bit of unique styling there. One thing that's unique here is the bookmark. Typically on MyListing websites, when you bookmark something, it puts a background color on there. And what I like to do is just keep the, you know, fill the actual heart. So as you see there, so that's some unique styling there. Quick View has a little bit of unique styling. Pumped up the title a little bit. It made it a little bolder and bigger. It's a little kind of small otherwise. And then some unique styling here around the category. All right. So that is that. I'm trying to think if there's anything I should show you before I show you the big daddy, which is the professionals card. I think that's it. So let's go ahead and look at the professionals card. This was a lot of fun to build. So what I've done here is I've increased the size of the card. I have brought the footer up into the card. So let me pull up here. I'll do a new tab. We'll do like a before and after. So the look will be the same. Like I said, it'll be the default as you see here, as you go through the listing types. But this is the one where it's unique. It's this professionals here. So this footer area here, I brought that up into the actual card, and with transparency, made this look like one big cohesive card. So that's really cool. Bumped up the title here. See the difference there? So the titles pops off more. It's bigger, bolder. The other unique thing here is this right here. This is the category. So if you look at the before on this other one, you'll see the difference here. You know, once I brought that up into there, I added I hid the icon, and then I added opacity, a background of the accent color with some opacity. So it kind of almost looks like if you've ever seen the Elementor blog posts badges. It's kind of like reminds me of that, but this one is down in the lower left. It's kind of like a cool little badge that you put in there, taxonomy badge. Same thing, or this is actually, sorry, a little different. You see, instead of filling it in with blue like we do here with the bookmark, because of the color of these cards and everything, it looked better to fill that in with a solid white. That's one option. I mean, you can do whatever you want there, but that's what I've done. Looking at the quick view, same thing, increased the size of the title, bolded it, really made that stand out. A little bit of styling here with the category, but a real focal point on the person, the professional, however, whatever website you have where the focal point was the coach or whatever, just very unique. I have not seen anybody do this yet. So it was a fun challenge. I think what else I could show you, of course, everything is going to look good on mobile. Get this down here. There we go. Yeah, so again, everything looks good on mobile, so no issues. Okay, so again, we're just looking at the preview cards. They look good on mobile, so all is good there. Now I want to show you how I did this. This is going to be a key point, especially for those that are interested in buying starter site, but also for those that just want to see how I went about doing this. It's a lot of fun, like I said. Okay, so the first thing I did is I filled in the worksheets like I showed you. I filled those in. I got the fields that I wanted, the type of preview card styling that I wanted to do. And once I had that worksheet defined, then my next step was to go into the fields, which I defined those. And I was like, okay, so I want a headshot. I need a headshot for the cover image, which is actually here. These are almost finished. The single listing design also will be available here soon. It's got some other stuff to think about. Like once I add additional listing types to this site, then, I may have to see if there's some more styling I want to do, but for all intents and purposes, this is basically what it's going to look like. Yeah. So anyways, this right here is the cover headshot. All right. So that is this field right here. And I've got, some instructions around it. We will apply a default image of our own with our own branding if you don't put one in there. And that's just, so there's no just like blank space here. You could put like your own website logo in there for your own branding or whatever you want to do there. But that's how that is brought in. And then there's some instructions around there, which is a different video, but there's instructions when someone goes to edit their listing, gives them instructions on, what size of image to put in and things like that. And then the next one up is the preview card. So each of these is a different size. So we want an image, a good image size for this, and then we want an image size for this. And basically what you do is you double the dimensions, the max dimension, absolute max dimensions that you need to fill the container, and you double it so it looks good on Retina devices. So that's what I've done there. So those images are brought in. I'll quickly show you those. That is this one right here, and it's properly labeled for those who are those that purchase this starter site. They will be able to quickly see what sizes image they need for each of those. So those are properly named and labeled there. What else? So that was the fields. Next up is single page, and you see the cover style is set to none. This is a little different than previews, but kind of applies. That's what gives you this, this background here with no other details like a gallery image or a cover. It's just this solid background. That may change, but that's not related to the previews. So totally separate. So that's where that comes in. What I wanted to show you was preview card. That's where I meant to go. We are using the alternate template to make this all happen and a background of image. Okay. So that's where we're pulling in that bigger image for the preview card. And then you got your head buttons and then your footer section. And that's how all of that is built. That stuff's pretty typical. And then quick view, the stuff, the typical stuff. I did an alternate view there because with a professional, I feel like the focus should be on the professional with this big area right here versus showing a map and whatnot. That person should be the focus. Okay, so that's how you set up the preview card and the quick view. Now, the key component is the CSS. No plugins needed, just anywhere that you add your CSS, that is where all of the magic happens. All right. So for that, I use WP Codebox for all of my CSS. I've got a snippet right here. It's in a folder called CSS Global. And the reason I say that is because it's not a light mode and it's not a dark mode. So it's just a global. I may change that wording. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant to this video, but the key is that it's just this listing previews CSS package right here. So that's the main thing. Looking at this, we are applying it to, this is a huge feature of WP Codebox. This is why I recommend using it. I'm saying apply the CSS only if the page is the Explorer page or if it's within the listing. And the reason you want to do it within the listing too, post type listing, is because of like similar listings and things like that. So if those appear or related listings, you want those cards to look good there and be styled there. So there's consistency across the board, which there is here. So that's why you want to apply it to there. Now, if you were to add it to the home page, so if you were to add like a listing feed or whatever to the home page, then you just figure out what steps you need to take to apply that styling there as well. Okay, so we'll just quickly run through this, see where some of this magic is. Preview cards global. So this would be anything that can apply regardless of whether it's for a particular listing type or not. It's just global just means it applies to all the preview cards across the board. And we style the badges, which is the promoted and the featured. And then we style the footer. And then this was really the thing that I wanted to show you that's special. And this is all of the CSS right here that went into designing the professional card. So all of this right here, that is just for the professional. Okay. Just gonna not nerd out too much here but show you a few things. So this is, setting the height to make the card taller. We are hiding the logo. So if we look here, we just want the big headshot. But if you want the logo to show, Really, really simple. You can comment out this line or you can just move it just like that. Save your snippet and refresh. And that's going to give you that logo there too. All right. So that is an option for you if you want to do that. But what that would be is going back to the listing type here, where we see this, I would actually change this instead of saying headshot cover image. I would change this to logo, and then I would just change this one to headshot, and then you'd be good to go. And then get creative if you want to add a cover image and a gallery and all that and stuff. Just, whatever you want to do there. Every site, every business is different. Just got to do what works for you. But I just wanted to show you that how easily you could get that logo back in there if you wanted. Okay, I'm going to bring that back, save my changes. And just that quick, we'll go back, refresh, show you that it comes back or goes away. Okay, there we go. So moving on. What else do I need to show you? This is where where's it at here? This is where we bring up we start the footer section. We're bringing that footer section back up into the card to create that one cohesive unit. Moving the icon here, bolding the title, making it bigger, making it pop. All of those sorts of things. Styling quite a bit of styling down here around these actions. Making them transparent, making this bookmark function the way that it does, stuff like that. All right, and then at the bottom we've got, because the way CSS works, cascading style sheets, if you didn't know, it works in order of applied. So the last thing that's applied is what takes precedence. So when you're looking at a listing, the first thing you're going to look at is the preview card, right? And then you're going to look at the quick view. So it all kind of flows down, right? So that's how that works. And then this, of course, this section styles the quick view. All right, so hopefully this inspires you to go out and try this on your own. Again, the CSS package is available through the club. If you just want to get it and get a jump start, you'll see here, the key here is this type-professional, which I showed you at the beginning of the video. Whatever your name of your listing type is, that's what you target. So type dash and then the name of your listing type. Okay. And that's going to give that unique styling. You see all the way through this section, it's prefaced by type-professional. Okay. If I just change this to business, that should change the height of the card for the business listings. So let's go back to those and let's do a hard refresh here. There we go. So see, that's how that works. That's simple. You just change that line. We'll change it back before I forget and save that. All right, guys, like I said, hopefully this inspires you, to do some cool stuff here, and grab that CSS package if you want. Otherwise, try your hand at doing it, and wish you luck. And hopefully you're as excited about the starter site as I am. I'm still plugging away every day on this thing when I'm not helping clients, and it's pretty exciting. So still a ways to go, but it's getting close. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.